How last Victoria Cross holder Big Bill hurled rocks and beer cans to keep the North Korean army. The only living Victoria Cross holder from the Korean War has died at the age of 90. War hero Bill Speakman was just 24 when he fought off a sustained attack from 6,000 Chinese and North Korean soldiers for more than 4 hours in 1951, despite receiving a shrapnel wound in his leg. The 6 feet 6 inches soldier, known as Big Bill, pelted enemy soldiers with grenades until they ran out. He then hurled rocks, tins and even empty beer bottles at them. He was given a hero's welcome by thousands of people on the streets of his hometown of Altrincham, Greater Manchester, when he returned a year later. Speakman became the first man to receive a Victoria Cross from Queen Elizabeth II for outstanding bravery, and was one of only a handful of living holders of the award. Despite his great height and courage, he was known as a modest and quiet man who struggled to adjust to civilian life and the celebrity which followed his great investiture. Born on September 21, 1927, Bill was raised by a single mom and started his military career when he was 17, serving in Germany, Italy and Hong Kong with the Black Watch, 3rd Battalion, Royal Regiment of Scotland. He transferred to the King's Own Scottish Borderers, COSB, as a private when British troops mobilized for Korean service in 1950. His regiment was bombarded with shell and mortar fire in the early hours of November 4, 1951 as they defended a position on Maryang-san in Korea, but Speakman fought back with grenades and beer bottles sent to the line for consumption by the platoon, breaking up several enemy attacks. His charge against the enemy allowed his overrun troops enough time to evacuate their wounded. Talking of the life-or-death siege, he said, "It was hand-to-hand. There was no time to pull back the bolt of the rifle. It was November, the ground was hard, so grenades bounced and did damage." Recalling the moment he was handed the award, he said, "When I got it the King, George V, was alive but he was very ill. He awarded me the VC and then he died. So the Queen, I was her first VC. It was a wonderful moment. I think she was nervous and I was very nervous." The announcement of the Victoria Cross Award said, Private Speakman's heroism under intense fire throughout the operation and when painfully wounded was beyond praise and is deserving of supreme recognition. A father of 7 and 3-time divorcee, Bill continued his service until 1970 and was promoted to sergeant in the COSB in 1955, serving in Aden, Radfan and Brunei. He died peacefully on Wednesday, June 20 at the Royal Hospital Chelsea in Altrincham, where he had been living as a permanent resident, with members of his family at his bedside. In later years, he visited South Korea, where he was awarded the country's highest honor, the Order of Military Merit. He presented a replica of his Victoria Cross to the Korean people in 2015, after selling off all his medals to a London dealer for £1,500 to renovate his house. He said he wanted his ashes to be scattered in no man's land, between the two Koreas.